All right, let's get right into it. The game of pickleball is evolving, and it's getting faster and way more aggressive every single year. Seriously, the strategies that work for you today, they're just not going to cut it tomorrow. So, we've zeroed in on 5 specific skills that are going to define the future of this sport. If you can master these, you won't just be keeping up, you'll be the one setting the pace.
So why 2026? Well, that's the timeline we're looking at for when this new, super fast style of play becomes the absolute standard. If you want to do more than just survive out there, if you want to dominate, the time to start building these skills is, well, right now.
So, that's the big question, right? Are you ready for what's coming? To help you get there, we've broken down the future of the game into 5 crucial interconnected skills. Getting a handle on these is going to be the key to winning points in this faster, more powerful era of pickleball. Let's start at the beginning of every point. We're going to walk through this just like a point plays out, nice and chronological, and it all kicks off with the 2 most important shots after the serve, the return, and of course, that all-important third shot. You get these 2 right, and you're setting the tone for the entire rally. First up, the return of serve. Okay, I want you to forget everything you know about just getting the ball back in play. That's old school thinking. In the modern game, your return is your first offensive weapon. You need a powerful, deep return to immediately throw your opponents on the defensive and take away any chance of an easy third shot.
And you can really see the difference here. A weak return, one that's short and sits up high, is basically a gift-wrapped present for your opponent. You're just letting them step in and crush it. But a strong, deep return? Oh man, that changes everything. It pins them to the baseline, forces a weak defensive shot back, and hands you complete control of the point before it's even really started.
So, why do so many returns end up being weak? Well, it usually boils down to one of 2 footwork mistakes. First, you've got players who are totally flat-footed, just standing still and trying to arm the ball over. And then you have the complete opposite, players who are running through the shot so wildly that they have absolutely zero control or power. The secret then is finding that perfect balance. The solution is all about creating controlled forward momentum. So as that serve is coming at you, you want to time your first step towards the ball. That way, you're moving into your shot in a stable, balanced way. This simple tweak lets you use your body's momentum for both power and control. It's a game changer. Now, a great return naturally sets you up for a better third shot. The old wisdom was always drop the third shot. But the modern game, it completely flips that script. The new wisdom is to use an offensive third shot drive to set up an easier 5th shot drop. It's a nasty 1-2 punch, the drive and drop combo. And this is where you can really see that strategic shift. Look, a passive drop is fine, it gets you to the kitchen, but a good opponent is almost never going to make an error on it. An offensive drive, though, that can win the point on the spot. And hey, even if they get it back, you've probably forced a weak little pop-up, giving you a super easy 5th shot drop. You're creating your own luck instead of just playing defense. Okay, so you've used your return and your third shot to get to the kitchen line. Awesome. This is where the modern game really kicks into high gear. Now, we've got to talk about how to initiate the attack with something called the speed up. So, a speed up is a very calculated offensive shot. You're letting that dink bounce just outside the kitchen, and then you're driving it hard at your opponent. But think of this as an investment. Even if you don't win the point right then and there, you're planting a little seed of doubt in their mind. You're making them hesitant, and that pays off big time later in the match. But speeding up isn't just about hitting the ball as hard as you can. It's about being smart. You have to follow 3 simple rules. First, you need to know when to attack, and that's only on balls that bounce outside the kitchen. Second, you got to know where to aim. And third, and this is crucial, you have to know what to expect, which is that the ball is probably coming back. So where are these magic targets? Let's break them down. First up, the paddle side shoulder of a right-handed player. This just jams them up and makes a clean block almost impossible. Next, you've got the paddle side hip. It's a super awkward spot that completely kills their ability to generate power. And finally, the backhand. This forces them to open their body up and almost always gives you a weak defensive shot in return. This quote absolutely nails the mindset you need. A speed up is not a knockout punch. It's the setup. It's the boxer's jab that creates the opening for the big right hook that's coming next. So you hit your speed up and you immediately get that paddle right back up, ready for the ball to come screening back. Of course, if you're going to be speeding up, you can bet your opponents are going to be doing it too. So let's flip the script.
How do you defend against a hard drive when you're standing at the kitchen line? It's all about preparation.
Okay, so here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They start with their paddle held in close to their body. Now, to hit the ball, they have to extend forward, and that requires split-second, perfect timing. The correct technique? It's so much simpler. You just start with your paddle already out in front of your body. And that's the magic of it, right there. By starting with your paddle out front, you basically take timing out of the equation. You're not trying to swing at a fastball anymore. You're just blocking. You're redirecting their power right back at them. It turns a really tough defensive shot into a pretty simple one. And that brings us to the most exciting part of any point, the firefight, the hands battle, that crazy rapid-fire exchange right at the net. This is the fastest part of the game, and let me tell you, winning here is about technique and calm, not just raw speed. There are 4 keys to winning these battles. First, and this is the foundation for everything, your lower body and your core have to be rock solid, completely still. Second, the power comes from a quick, tiny snap of the wrist, not a big swing from your shoulder. Third, you have to reset your paddle to the ready position instantly after every single hit. And finally, and this is probably the most important part, aim down. I love this way of thinking about it. To get that stability, just imagine you're balancing a dinner plate on top of your head, and you absolutely cannot let it fall. All the movement is coming from your hands and your wrists. Your core, it's completely locked in. That stability is what gives you control. So why aim down? It's actually pretty simple. The entire goal of a firefight is to get what we call the low ball advantage. You are fighting for one single thing, to be the first person who gets to hit down on the ball. If you can force your opponent to hit up at you, you've pretty much won the battle. You're going to get an easy put away almost every time. Think about it like this. If you hit the ball at their chest, that's a gift. It's at a perfect height for them to hit down on you. But if you aim low, down at their knees, everything changes. It forces them to lunge and hit up, popping the ball right into your strike zone for an easy winner. That is the low ball advantage in action. And there you have it. That's your complete toolkit for the future of pickleball. And you can see how it all connects, right? The aggressive return sets up the offensive third. The strategic speed up creates pressure. The ready counterblock defends their attack. And the controlled firefight lets you finish the point. Each skill builds on the last one to create a single, aggressive game plan. So all these skills together create a complete, modern, aggressive game. Look, mastering them isn't going to happen overnight, but just focusing on them is the key to unlocking a whole new level on the court. So the question I'll leave you with is this: which one are you going to start working on tomorrow?